Alright guys, so we'll start now. So basically, an overview of what I'm trying to do here. In the past, when I was a kid, I started liking anime like forever, Sailor Moon and stuff, and people tease me about that. And I always wanted to go to Japan, and it was like been a lifelong dream of mine. And like when I was older, in 2012, I was like, let's go. And I started doing the research, like how much money would actually be to go to Japan, and I found it was pretty reasonable, and I could do a lot more with it than I thought I could. So basically, I'm going to tell you how I went to Japan. It might not fit everyone here, or you kind of have to kind of make your own plan, but hopefully motivate you guys to travel and take the next step to go to Japan, because it would change my life. It was great. And this is my girlfriend Jenny. She actually went with me, and my friend Brendan. He's here for moral support.
He gets a little nervous.
All right. So I don't really have a crazy slideshow. I got so many pictures. I couldn't organize them. So I'm just gonna kind of scroll through it. But most like half the stuff is just kind of talking to me how I prepared and how I got ready to go to Japan. Right? Anyone been to Japan? One? Awesome. Alright, cool. Then I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm no expert, guys. Like I did all the research myself, and even there, I got lost, and that's part of the experience. I didn't get like robbed or anything, so.
Google Maps and all that jazz.
All right, I got notes so I can not skip anything. So after I decided that I wanted to go to Japan, I was going to do it no matter what. I tried to get a couple friends. Jenny, was the only one who followed through. Brandon had other obligations to do, and it is hard. Saving money is not easy. So. Yeah. But after I did that, I was like, well, I'll go for a week, because that's got to be real cheap. It's so expensive to go for a week. It's ridiculous. So I did the research, and to go for like a week and do like a guided tour. I went to like travel agencies, and I was like, I want to go to Japan for a week. They're like, we can book you a flight. I'm like, where should I go in Japan? And they're like, I don't know. So I was like,
there's a shrine somewhere over there. Nice.
They couldn't help me at all. And I was like, what am I paying you for when I can book a flight online in like 2 seconds? So I did research, and I realized I found this place. This is what kind of made it possible. It was a place called Sakura House, and they all they do is rent apartments to foreign people. So and they're really cheap. So actually we'll show you.
And just in case you guys want to know, after this, if he goes through links and stuff like that, and you want to remember what it is, you don't have a chance to write it down, you can get his email from him. We'll give you all the links that he had. Just let him know at the end of it, just come up to him and ask him about it. He'll send it. Because then you're always going through it real quick. We have a time limit.
Yeah, or if you guys have a question, just kind of raise your hand.
Yeah, and we'll answer it.
Have you turned the lights down?
Oh, I could try.
I don't know. I'll ask and see, but they're very strict about that stuff, so we'll see what happens. I'll just turn them down and then see if I get yelled at.
There you go.
Where are they at?
The other side.
Horrible picture. Maybe you can see that. All right, so.
Is there a dimmer?
Like half light? There gotta be half light.
Wait.
Oh, there you go.
Light show. Please. Start the show. All right, so after a little bit of research, and I found this place called Sakura House, I started putting together how much money I should save up. Obviously I didn't have a whole bunch of money, so I was like, I gotta save up. So I came up with the amount of $5,000, which I saved up in a whole year. It was like 17 months, so it was like $300 a month. At the time, I was living at home, and I was pretty much self-employed. So I think like that year, maybe on taxes, I only made like $10,000. So like, The hardest part was just like saving my money. Like, oh, I'll buy that DVD. No, you can't. You got a budget for everything. So like that was like the hardest part, but like I just kept remembering like I'm gonna go to Japan, and you know everyone's saying like, oh no you're not. And my mom was like, until I bought the plane ticket. She's like, are you email me every day? And I'm like, nope. So like where was I? So I said, all right, I'm gonna get $5,000. So the breakdown was, I had this apartment. This was my apartment for a month, and it consisted of a bed and a window and a couple of desks. It is really small. You get up and you pretty much turn around, and that's the front door. And that was I mean, there's like a hot plate, and there's my kitchen, you know, and that was the bathroom where you can pretty much stand up, turn around, and take a dump. And it's actually pretty cool because like you can like take a shower in the whole thing and just like everything's like waterproof.
If you wanted to do that.
I did it. There's water everywhere. So like, which is totally fine because I was only there in the morning. Like I would sleep there and eat breakfast there to save money. That's it. And then the rest of the day I was walking. And I can't imagine how many miles we walked. Like the first week. So I don't know if it's that, but I went there for a month. So that was price-wise cheaper. For like a week, plane and hotel, like just a normal hotel, like hotel is almost $300 to $500 a night. So yeah, I was like, that's ridiculous. So, you know, yeah, you're probably closer to the city, and you got, you know, people are giving you towels, and you don't have to worry about it. But you couldn't cook there, you know, so there's no way I could have done that. So I looked into like hostels and stuff, like rooming with like several other people, which was definitely an option. Like Sakura House does that. You can like have a bunk bed and like a community kitchen, and it was really cheap. But I was like, no, I kind of want my own place so I can, you know, chill. AKA take my pants off.
So, shower everywhere.
You know, I don't have to worry about, you know, other people touching my stuff or anything, so that's nice.
They wouldn't let me in if I wasn't part of the panel.
This is Ryan, he's my other friend. For an apartment for an entire month, this apartment was about 1,000 yen. So 100,000 yen, which is like $1,000. Right? So it's just like, wow. So I saved a lot of money, and we split it too. So it was really cheap, and then you put like a down payment. It was like maybe $300. So and we actually got that back at the end of the day because we were like running low on cash actually. I was like, all right, we got $200 to get back to the airport. Don't mess up. So you know, the goal I kind of set was good for me. She likes to spend a lot.
I had 50 cents to get back to the airport.
Yeah, I was like, see ya. It's a good time to break up.
That's right. I see how it is.
Oh, I gotta go. No, it worked out perfectly. Because at the end of the day, we were like leaving, and they gave us $300. I was like, not expected, because like in the contract, it says you get back half, which is like a weird thing in Japan. You have to sign a whole bunch of stuff. It's like you're leasing an apartment. So half of this paperwork is here's that. So,
Question.
Yeah.
Where were you in Japan?
I'll get to that in a little bit. I was going to talk about the area I was in, how I picked my area, where I stayed.
It's a surprise.
Right now, I'm just going to kind of break down to you what was.
I was in a box under religion.
Right. What the $5,000 was for. So the next most expensive thing was the airfare, and I kind of cheated on that by having a 24-hour layover in Beijing, which was kind of scary. I was like, but airfare at the time, we went in April, which I chose that for the cherry blossoms. So I was like, I want to see that. But airfare was about $1,200, so you know it wasn't too bad. But everything else was like a direct flight, and it was like 15. So I haven't checked recently.
How far in advance did you buy it though? I
bought it about halfway, so like 6 months before. I was like keeping an eye on it, and then I was like, all right, this is the cheapest I've seen so far, and I took it. And like another way I cheated on that was I got credit cards, and with like I was young, so like I didn't have any credit. So like I was like, I'm gonna build up credit too, because for future references, which worked because I just bought a house. So that brings a whole new challenge if I ever wanted to go back. But I got a credit card and it had air miles on it. So it was like if you use it once, I just bought gas with it. You know, I was responsible with it. And I got 2 credit cards, and I saved myself $200 on my plane ticket. So it's really nice.
Granted, just be, I'm sure you all know, but extra careful with credit cards if you guys haven't really gotten started with that.
Yeah, but you know, it helped me later in the future because then I built up credit, and now I got excellent credit. So think ahead. So the next was about how I did food. I had a plan for food, and what I did was 3 meals a day for $12 each. I was like, all right, you know, I thought I'm like, all right, and then like if I ate breakfast at my apartment, which is like cereal, that gives me more money to buy snacks. So I said about $1,100 for food, like that was just food, and then the rest was like other, so like train tickets, which is, I'll show you like how I did that. Stuff, I bought a lot of stuff. I took an extra suitcase to bring stuff back.
And he filled it, and he came home with a lot of things.
Do that, bring extra room to bring stuff back. Other food like snacks, ice cream, beer, and then like fees to get into like gardens and other museums and stuff like that. So I kind of like, you know, it was hard to kind of budget that stuff. I was like, well, how much, you know? So even in Japan, I kind of set a budget for myself. You know, I was like, I can't be like, you know. So yeah, that was the breakdown of my 5,000 I saved. And I pretty much hit that goal. I had maybe a little extra, but I actually came back with money. She didn't, but
the snacks got it.
So after I figured that out, how I got my money, you know, you just can't go there with American money and just get yen all of a sudden. You can, but it's expensive to change it over. So check with your local bank, whatever bank you use, and usually they have exchange rates. And keep an eye on that, and they will actually go up and down. So exchange your money like when it's good. So my original plan was to just bring enough yen to pay for my apartment, and then I was going to use my debit card there to get money out of the ATM. Yeah, my original plan was to use credit cards there. Don't do that unless like you're buying something with it. Don't use an ATM or ATM card or a credit card with an ATM. They will kill you with fees. Like I was like, ooh, because that was my original plan. And I found that out, and it's like you had to pay like $200 to get like an advancement. So use your bank card if you need extra money there. But I brought over 120,000 yen. So you just move like the decimal point over 2, and that kind of gives you a rough estimate of how much American money. And when I actually got there, I actually just paid the apartment with my credit card. There was no extra fees or anything. So that's how much money I brought over with me. I was just like, oh, okay, I got yen now. So I had about $1,200 with me, and that was good. And I had extra in my bank account if I needed. So if you want guys to take notes or something, I don't know if you did it, you know. But if you ever need, like, I'll give my email and stuff too, because there's a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff. We're going kind of fast lazy.
Yeah, I'm talking.
Talk to him, and he'll send every link that he has in more slower pace, so you guys can read it. We have time, you know.
Well, other than that, the stuff I got beforehand, passport, you know, I got that when I saved up money. I took the passport photo myself, you know, saved myself $15. I was doing like wedding photography at the time, so that was pretty easy.
But places like, I think like Walmart.
It's cheap enough, yeah. But you know, I'm all about saving $15.
Question over there.
Question, yeah.
So quick thing, tip for you guys, because my family travels to Japan. So if you see a flight to Japan and you're like, wow, it's super expensive, or like it's 1,800, try to look for flights in Southeast Asia, because if for example, I fly to Vietnam and we make either a stop in South Korea or Japan, and the ticket's way cheaper. You can save about probably $300, $400 if you do that.
Yeah.
So instead of like, oh, I'm gonna fly to Japan and Vietnam, just skip the flight to Vietnam and then go to Japan. So we save money right there.
Yeah, if I knew more about that, like we had a 24-hour layover in Beijing, I would have got the one that was like a day, and I would have ran around Beijing for a little bit because like they actually gave me a day passport there. Like, cause you can't just go to China. You have to actually have a visa and stuff. Like Japan, you can easily, you don't have to. You can just go there, and they give you a visitor visa, and you can stay there for 3 months until they start looking for you. You know? So yeah, I would have looked for longer layovers and traveled somewhere else for a day or two. Because our layover was weird. It was like midnight, and then like, we were exhausted. It's a really long flight. It sucks.
They actually gave us a free hotel room when
Yeah.
we were in China.
Like,
they just were like, here you go.
Like my plan was like, oh, we're gonna sleep in the
terminal.
Yeah. And I called up just to confirm everything. They're like, oh, where are you staying? I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna sleep. We'll make it. Just to save. It was $600 between us, so that's a lot of money. And they're like, oh no, we can get you a hotel. I was like, sweet. So always look for free stuff.
Free stuff is good. You want to jot that down.
Free stuff.
Not always. It could be a burden.
It was kind of weird going through like China, like security and stuff. It was weird. And then driving in China scared the crap out of me. Like we almost killed like 3 people on the way to the hotel. Like, no joke. I was like, ah! It was fun.
We killed some people. Almost killed some people. It was great. It was great.
Let's see.
I like that turning page noise.
They are scribbled. Alright, so where I book stuff, I got the apartment at sakurahouse.com. If you just look up Sakura House, it comes up. They're really nice. I had no problem with them. My mom is my mom, and she actually called them. And she's like, in case I needed to call them, can I? They're like, they talked to my mom, and I was like, Mom, really? And then I booked the flight on Cheapo Air, which I don't know if I would do again. They messed it up, and it was kind of a pain in the butt. But that's where I found the cheapest thing. So I would look around. There's a lot of different places you can book. Money I got Bank of America is where I exchange money.
Sorry, I was still
Yeah.
It's called Cheapo Air?
Cheapo Air, yeah. It's just a big website. They post all different websites to get air tickets free.
And also another quick note.
Yeah.
Another life hack. So if you go to Priceline.com, that's
Yeah.
usually where I get tickets with my family. And they will reveal all the information so you don't have any errors or whatnot. When you search for flights, right, you have cookies enabled. So if you were to say have a history of going on Priceline, they actually charge you higher. So either go on incognito mode or make sure to clear your history with those cookies so that you can, so that they don't charge you extra for searching the same thing on a different day.
It's true.
That's interesting.
That's my response to that. Thank you.
Alright, so the other thing when you start picking an apartment is where you can stay. I wanted to be able to get to the city quick, because I'm talking about Tokyo. And I didn't want to travel a long distance. So these are like, Tokyo is huge. So actually I'll go back a note. So this whole time, the whole year I was saving up and doing this, I was trying to learn as much Japanese as I can. So if I want to go back, and I want to go back before I'm 30, one thing I promised myself, I'm not going to go back if I don't know more Japanese. It would have made the trip 3 times better. So I use Pimsleur List. It's like it helped me a lot. I got to like the point where I asked where the station is and stuff, but I still didn't learn as much as I should have.
Tokyo is a major tourist city. Do they have things in English at all, or
Yes.
is it like
Yes.
Amsterdam, or it's just all Dutch?
No. So like in Tokyo, like
Right in front.
you don't need to know lick of Japanese. Like you can survive in Tokyo just fine. You're just not going to be able to talk to anyone, and you're going to be able to order meals by pointing. Like that was like the only thing that kind of sucked. Is like, where are we going to eat? I'm like, that place looks like you got to be able to speak Japanese. Nope. So like being able to point where like they have a lot of like vending machines where you order your food, and then you get like just give them a ticket and you have the same thing. So I liked it. But in Tokyo, everything is spelled out in American letters. So you can sit there and be like, okay, you don't have to worry about kanji. It's as soon as you start getting out of Tokyo, no one can even like kind of understand you or give you like quick responses or like tell you where the station is, and you know, like the audio on the train starts turning into Japanese, like total Japanese, and you're like, uh-oh. So you gotta be kind of careful there. So if you like travel out of the city, I would really recommend.
So with the English stops, you've gone too far.
Right. But it was really nice. I mean, everywhere I went, you know, even I can't believe how nice people were. Like people would come up to me and like start talking like in English to me, just like practice, and like ask me like, oh, do you need help with directions? And it like that was one mentality like why I want to go back. And if I could live there, I would. It's just everything was, I don't know, it was different. It was. I never felt anything like that. It's just you go to New York and like people will not talk to you, and like even if they lived there for 20 years, you ask them like where's Times Square? You're like, oh no, you know, it's
just like that. He goes, and they walk away.
Yeah.
Spit on your shoes first.
Spit on your shoes first.
No, we got lost one time. We were looking for the Bonsai Museum, and I'll show you this book later. But I was like, Bonsai Museum, and she barely spoke English. She tried to help me for like 30 minutes. She was asking a Coca-Cola delivery guy to try to help her for 10 minutes, and a cafe person. I was just like, I don't need any more help. I'm just walk around. And like everyone I asked was super nice. And the only time someone didn't help was when they didn't know what I was talking about, and they couldn't speak any English. So what I brought, I try to pack as light as I can. I didn't because I brought all my camera gear. It was like I want to go for pictures. So, oh, sorry, I was picking areas. So I was trying to stay as close as I can to the city. That's where, like, the middle, you see, like, where Tokyo Tower and rope hopping and stuff. That's pretty in the center, and you see that circle around it. You can get to. This is on actually sakurahouse.com. If you need to look at this again, you actually can click on it and it'll show you all the apartments. But the circle around it is the Yamanote line, and that line just goes in a circle around Tokyo. So our apartment was in the top corner. I don't really know how to say it, but we were in a ward called Kitaku, and it's by Koogome, and it's the very top. Where like little owls, I can't pronounce it, sorry. But it was really nice, but we were like a 10-minute walk from the Yamanote line. So we would just hop right onto the Yamanote line, and then we can get to any of these major wards. Like 20 minutes, we were anywhere in Tokyo. It was so cool. So like depending on where you want to be and what you want to go see, which you should do the research on. And some of these books, like I just bought every book that I found. But,
you go to like Borders or around.
Like just
Border doesn't exist anymore. That's right.
Well, one book I definitely is Tokyo City Atlas. This helped me a lot. I don't know if they have an updated version, but some things on it wasn't there, like the Bonsai Museum. I was like, it's right there, and she couldn't find it, so it's not there. But this helped me a lot. So like when I got out of the station, and I was like, all right, what direction do I walk in? This helped a lot. So look at it, study it, learn how to read a map. You know, 'cause sometimes I'd be like, I think we're that way, you know, but it's a little confusing at first. But it's really light, really easy to take with you. And then I got another one like surviving Japanese, so just in case I needed to ask stuff, which helped a couple times, but I just stuck to what I knew. And then if I needed to like go look up something, like we looked up sunscreen, how to say sunscreen, because like we wanted to find that and stuff like that. But questions so far? You guys, I know I'm going over a lot. I'm kind of skipping around.
There's one over there.
Yeah.
What airline did you end up using?
China Air.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Air China. It was sketchy.
Yeah,
The food was sketchier.
The bed?
I got sick. I was like,
avoid any Chinese airline.
it was cheap.
There's a reason why it was cheap.
Yeah.
I was on the window seat, and like on the flight back, I was like, I'm gonna barf. I should get off.
Where did those depart from?
JFK. So actually, we had a friend drive us down to JFK. He spent the day in actually New York, and it was just cheaper that way. You know, I don't know if Bradley does many international flights out of to like Tokyo or Beijing. So the cheapest I could find. I was just going for cheapest. I wasn't really trying to like, you know, I knew I could get a ride down there. So I went through JFK to Beijing National Airport, which is a huge airport. It was crazy. And then we flew to Niigata.
Good input.
and
I don't remember.
TR, yeah, it's the first one, and I'll take you through what we did. So we got there, and what I did was I had a notebook with me, and I just wrote down each day. So on my first day, it got filled up.
7, 6, 3.
Oh, it just tells me like, all right, I should be arriving in NRT. That's the initials for the airport. You know, 1:55, and then I got to get to Shinjuku, which is top left, which is also Shinjuku Station is like one of the biggest stations in the world. So I was like, all right, I want to be prepared for that. So I YouTubed it. There's actually a lot of like YouTube videos. I don't know if you're Street English. I don't think he makes a lot of videos now, but he had a video how to get to the airport to you know, Yamanote line. So like I looked up that and I was watching. I studied it and I just wrote it down. So the first thing I did was
I know the Sakura Hotel has a YouTube account, and they do have like previews of the rooms. They have walks of going down the street,
Yeah.
showing all that stuff. So you can look them up on YouTube. They do have their YouTube as well.
Sounds like if you have a poor sense of direction, you're kind of screwed.
honestly, like if you
Makes
go to
me
New
feel
York,
great.
I get lost. I get lost in New York. I went to Tokyo. We got lost twice.
Really?
The only time we got lost
Twice.
is when we left Tokyo.
Were you all together? We weren't here at the beginning. So.
Yeah, no, it was just me and her.
These two.
And, you know, she was able to like read stuff really well, and I'm like, I know I've been there.
Any trouble with your phone working or anything like that?
I had no phone.
Okay.
I was gonna say,
No
could you
phone.
use like a Google Maps equivalent for Japan? That'd save you a lot of trouble. with
As
the map.
long as you can get Wi-Fi. She had. I didn't have a smartphone at the time. I didn't
Right.
have a smartphone, and the plan was to just get a burner phone there and just be able to call my mom. And then if we got separated, we
Imagine
could call
you
each
do it
other.
different. Yeah, no.
You mean you can go to a grocery store or something and get one? But I was just like, no.
She'll be fine.
I'm just gonna get lost. Just go with it.
I mean, we were always together, so.
Great experience.
Yeah, it was money, and then like how much we would actually use it, I don't know. You know, so I'm sure like now, like you can get like international plans and stuff, and you could probably take your iPhone and you'd be
He
fine.
said something about portable hotspot.
Yeah, I heard like you can also get a like a portable Wi-Fi hotspot.
Yeah,
You know, it's
yeah.
like much cheaper.
Yeah, that's a
Because their
good.
infrastructure is way better than ours.
Oh yeah, no, they're but
Years ahead.
yeah, they don't have like AT&T and stuff, so they all their phones are different, but they're all about phones. So
But it's everywhere.
their phones are so cool.
Different panels.
So yeah, I wrote down everything I needed to do step by step on my notepad. So if I did miss, so I wasn't freaking out, because like we had a ton of luggage. We were tired. I was grumpy, hungry, and I was just like, all we need to do is get to Shinjuku so I could get my apartment key and get to our apartment. And we did that, and that was day one. Like we got to the apartment, it was dark. We went to a 7-Eleven to get some food.
You rented an apartment?
Yes.
Instead of
yes.
doing a hotel room?
Much cheaper. Soccer house. Look up there. But it was about $1,000 for the whole month.
Oh wow.
How great is 7-Eleven?
7-Eleven is totally different there. They're so cool. I probably got better somewhere. Okay. So as soon as I got that, I just planned out my days. I just did research. One way, there's like Japan Wikipedias and stuff you can look. I just listed everything I wanted to see, and I just put it on a day, and then like I feel like doing this, I did it. Another great website was, don't think it would open.
Is that .com or? I don't think it would open.
If you guys are interested in it, I'll send you a link. If you get my email, I'll send it out to everyone. But you were able to put in a train station and tell you what train station you wanted to go to, and it'll give you the fastest or cheapest routes to get there. And it saved the day. So I'll send you the link. But if you
don't
just
have Wi-Fi.
yeah, sorry.
It.
But I was just able to put in the station I was leaving from, the station I wanted to go to, and I had that all written down in my notebook, and I even had the directions already pre-written down, so I didn't have to, look it up again. So I did have internet at the apartment, but and I just followed it. It never steered me wrong. It was great. But I'll send you that. And then I printed out maps. So if there was a map, I printed out because there's some obscure areas where I want to go see that, but you kind of have to go off the beaten trail. So I printed those maps out and wrote down directions. So that was what I was doing the entire year. I was saving up money. So yeah, the whole month I was there, I was really living in Japan. So I kept telling my mom I was gonna eat blowfish, pufferfish, because of moistness, and she was freaking out about it. So the first day we passed this, and it was restaurant, and I took a picture of that. I'm like, Mom, guess what I got? So yeah, but experiences there. The first thing you noticed was just how busy it was. There's a ton of people there, and they're all moving, and they're all pretty to themselves, which I like. I don't like people in my face and yelling at me or being rude. Everyone was really nice, really clean. That's the one thing I couldn't get over with. There was no cigarette butts in the streets. There was none. There's no trash, and the funny thing about it is there's no trash cans. I was reading, where do you throw your stuff out in Japan? Everyone brings it back home, takes their trash with them, and throws it away at home. There's no trash cans. The only trash can I ever found was at 7-Eleven. But
wow, how great is 7-Eleven?
There's 5 7-Elevens on every corner. Other things, traveling in Tokyo was super easy. Just train stations were super laid out really nicely. Everything was on time. If that train was going to come, it was going to come, and I never had a problem. Food was pretty cheap. I ate a lot of ramen because
Aren't the portions small though?
Funny story. A couple times we ate at McDonald's just to, oh, I need to eat something. Let's just go grab a burger.
American food in Japan.
Yeah, it's actually better. It looks like the picture.
Wow.
And I'd be I want 2 cheeseburgers and a large fry. They're for both of you?
Their strawberry filling has actual strawberries in it.
And then she would go up and order her food, and they just look at her, and they'd be oh, you want food too? I'd be yeah. So portions, or we went to Subway one time on the airport, and they're I want a foot long, and they thought it was for both of us. And I was nope, that's going in me. Well, fat American. Don't get their pizza.
Oh, it's horrible.
I'm all about Domino's. I love Domino's. Their Domino's suck. They don't know how to do pizza. They know how to do ramen. There's me. This is Ueno Park. It's a big, definitely check it out. There's a Ueno Zoo and stuff too. But we were there, and we're all right, we're gonna take some pictures, and it starts to pour. I'm all right, well, there was a siren and a warning in Japanese, and I'm all right, everyone's leaving. I'm I don't know, we're gonna wait out. It doesn't seem that bad. And then this little old lady's I'm saying I don't understand in Japanese, and she's what? I'm shit. I'm trying to speak more clearly, and she goes, typhoon! Typhoon! I'm oh! I understand the word typhoon. So, I'm okay, we should probably leave. That's probably why there was a warning and everyone left.
Yeah.
So we go back, we put our camera stuff away. I'm all right, I'm not gonna get soaked. And I'm it's not that bad. It's not that bad. So we go back out and we go to Akihabara, which is, we spent like 4 days there. Like, if you guys like figures, like anything in the con, like $40 was like $5 at Japan. Like, I stocked up. Like,
You should see his room is full of even
I'm
figures.
embarrassed.
Not really.
You're gonna
I regret nothing.
You're gonna have problems with like customs or something and all that freaking stuff?
I thought it was, but no.
They're cool with figures.
You'd probably have to look into that now because things are a lot more strict than when we did.
Yeah, when was this?
2012.
Oh, wow.
So things have gotten kind of.
I mean, like, when you go back in, like, before your flight lands, they give you, like, a thing you have to declare. I just wrote everything, like, 20 toys,
Like,
figures, and, like, I think the only thing they really care about is food and, like, liquor. So I brought the under amount of liquor back, you know, a certain amount of milliliters you can bring back before they pay, like, taxes on it or something.
You max that out to the fullest.
Oh, yeah. Brought a lot of sake home.
Does that also include like, you know, snack food? You know, like
Yeah, I brought like snacks and stuff. They didn't have a problem. I think they were looking for more like produce and like plants.
You bought me a
so things that are like culture unique, like seeds and like weird stuff.
Yeah, don't bring that stuff.
Animals, seeds, and booze.
Don't bring animals. Don't
Don't steal any children. Yeah.
Hide it really well. You know.
One of his gifts he brought back was bread in the can.
Yeah, I gave a friend a bread.
Back.
It was rain. It was an Evangelion, but it was just a little tin with bread in it, and I was like, eat it.
Is it as delicious as it sounds?
It was disgusting. There's Shinjuku. That's a famous like statue, but it was really cool. But we were in like peak season of cherry blossoms. It was awesome. This was a place actually in Kitaku, or no, not Kitaku, or Kogome, and it's actually again I don't remember the name.
It's just called like.
What was the month?
April.
Oh, you went there.
So it was full cherry blossom season and picnics, but
it's clean and pretty over there. It's dirty and terrible here.
Tokyo Tower, we went to see that a couple
America's
times.
terrible.
You know, it was awesome. But yeah, you know, I planned ahead for stuff that I looked how much it cost to get up there and stuff. So you gotta kind of like plan trips, day trips and stuff. Because as soon as we left the apartment, we didn't really go back. It's like your train ticket. Here's another tip. As soon as I got there, I got something called a Suica card, and you can just get it out of the ticket machines, but way better. And you can just load it with cash. So you just recharge it, which is super easy too. And you just tap it when you get on the subway. You tap it to get off, and it automatically adjusts your fare, and you don't have to worry about tickets.
What's it like to be at a country that functions well?
But they didn't want to come home. They made me come home. No, if I could live there, I would. You need to learn more Japanese.
And carry your trash with you.
Another place was the government building, which is actually free to go in, and they have a floor where you can look out, and it's free. So can't beat that. And these are some pictures I got from up there. That's rope hopping. That's the building. Rope hopping is like a big mall. This is actually by a park. You know, this is by actually Tokyo Tower. And you know, we're walking around at night, and I had literally probably like $10,000 worth of camera equipment, and I was not scared at all. Like,
something.
It's totally like anime. Like we're walking down, and like you see a guy with a tie undone with a briefcase walking off on you and singing, and we saw that several times. You know, it was hilarious. Like after work gets out, like everything's a little different. Like the trains are really loud, everyone's a little tipsy, but during the day, like people are just like to themselves on their phones, no noise, nothing. Like
a little creepy.
I enjoyed it. Like you go on the subway in like New York, and I'm like, don't make eye contact. Don't look at him. He's gonna ask me for money. You know, and you just mind your own, business in Japan, and everyone leaves you alone. I think one person bugged me, and he was like a homeless guy, like filthy as hell, and I made eye contact, and he was just like, and like that's like crap. But another travel tip, is like if someone's actually following you or something, or you don't feel safe, just go in the store. You know. 7-Eleven. Yeah, 7-Eleven. There's police booths all over the place and stuff. Yes. Question?
Yeah, I don't know what this was all about, but while we were over there, because I went with my class in college, and one of the people I was going with ended up talking to this
Pass
guy.
these
who was,
around
like,
for you
dressed like
guys.
a
Wanna
monk,
take a quick
and
look?
Long story
Set
short,
that
he lost
way.
$50 in the span of 5 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is, but we saw somebody else have something similar happen to them who wasn't the labor, who spoke like French or something, so he didn't even know them. But yeah, no, that's just a thing over there, and I'm not sure what really.
I did get scammed, but out of like $1. Like I saw this like Buddhist monk. Yeah. And he was in a couple, like I saw him like maybe a week before.
You say you got scammed? It's like
by a Buddhist monk.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I did.
Was he a real Buddhist monk?
I don't think
or is
so.
that just, yeah.
No, it was weird. Like he was like asking for donations, so I gave him, like a couple of change, and he was just like, "No, you need to give me more money." And I was just like, yeah, like he was like insulted. I was like,
You say, I'm late.
yeah, so I gave him like a buck to leave me alone.
Like a badge or something, like a weird little metallic thing.
The medallion thing.
Yeah.
We got one of those.
Yeah.
We paid $1 for it.
Like I don't know if it was weird, so I don't know if I got scammed or not, but I gave him $1.
Probably.
So
American dollar?
no.
He says dollar, but he means he just.
Yeah, I meant yen. Sorry. It was like 100 yen.
Have that.
Cool. Here's the German money.
I got frosted flakes. Another place I went to was the Ramen Museum. Highly recommend. You go into this building and it looks like an old alleyway of ramen shops, and you can get a whole bunch of different types and styles of ramen around Tokyo in this one place. But if you go there, make sure you know how to get there. It's kind of out of the way, and you gotta kind of have your directions. But yeah, this is us in like an alleyway, taking a picture, eating ramen. It's really cool. It definitely recommend that.
Right after you.
Cats everywhere. Stray cats everywhere. It's so cool. Like they have like tent cities, like homeless people that feed cats. But we
Their
made friends
stray
with a lot
cats
of
are
cats.
happy and well adjusted.
This is the Ramen Museum still. Pokemon Museum is another thing we went to.
Oh.
I did not fill out a place at all there. Like there's a line to get in, and like they're all like little Japanese kids, and I'm just like, get out of my way. It's really cool. I've spent a lot of money there. Love Pokemon. Pigeons. Another garden. This is actually right outside.
Yeah, the pigeons look
Center.
happier.
I'm just scrolling through like
Even the stray animals are more well adjusted in Japan.
A lot of carp. Carp are cool there. Another place, when I planned the Ghibli Museum. Highly recommend it.
Yeah.
I would actually go more than one day if I didn't know. But one thing, if you do want to go to the Ghibli Museum, you have to get your ticket ahead of time. You can't just go there and buy your way in. So you can actually order online. It's not that expensive, and then you just pick the day you're going to go, and you just go that day. Really cool. They give you like a little mini card of like a film strip.
Is it big or is it small?
The museum? Yeah. It's pretty big. It's really big. It's like it's got a rooftop. It's just on the rooftop. It was really cool. I mean, it's not huge, but the whole building is made just for that. The Ghibli Museum. So if you're like Studio Ghibli stuff, the whole place is like you're in the Ghibli. They have a cat bus you can ride, like a huge cat bus. And I was like, I want to go on that, but it's for like little kids. I was like,
push them out of the way too.
Do you think they would stop me if I just got in line? But I didn't. There was like food there. There's she's holding the film strip right there. They sell beer there. They have Studio Ghibli beer, and it was delicious.
Oh, could you bring home the bottle?
I did.
Oh yeah.
I did. It was good. No one cards you. I never got carded. I don't think they were gonna try or anything, so I just bought booze wherever I want. So it was cool. We got ice cream there. It was kind of expensive, but it was goofy us.
It's kind of.
Cat in the Studio Ghibli Museum.
I know you were looking at that.
But I recommend going to that. We went to Mount Fuji. which is a trip. You gotta plan that out. It's like a 2-hour ride there, train. So you gotta kind of go early. We went to a couple stops on the way. This is actually on the way. It was a shrine you walk up to, a good hike. But I found all this stuff online and directions and maps to do it, and it was great.
In English?
Oh yeah, you know, like out this part, like it's kind of touristy, so there is English and stuff, but not as much as you think. So like, it's more like tour bus guides and stuff. So I didn't kind of realize that, and I should have spent a little bit more money and like hop the bus and stuff. But it was a little off season too. No one was climbing at that time, so there wasn't a lot of things going on.
Spring, really?
Yeah, it's off season actually.
Huh.
So we weren't gonna climb it. You know, that's you know, that's a whole nother you know,
different thing.
journey. But let me see.
Man, you guys look tired.
Oh, you're exhausted.
In terms of size, can you hike it a day, or how long would it take?
It's gonna take a whole day. Yeah, and if I did it, I would do probably 2 days and probably get a hotel down there.
The guided tour?
No, if I was gonna hike Mount Fuji,
Oh, okay.
I would do it, you know, in 2 days. But you know, I knew I wasn't going to. This is like a shrine at the foot of Mount Fuji. Like a lot of people, it's kind of weird. Like there's like several different areas around the lake around Mount Fuji you can kind of go to. We never really went on Mount Fuji. The closer we got was like the ancient temple where people would actually start their journey up Mount Fuji, which no one does anymore. They started at like halfway up at like base camp 1, you know. So it's actually cheating. So I like saw that, and that was really cool. And this was our second or our first time we really got lost. Like, holy crap, we're gonna die in Japan. Wow. Like, I wanted to go to this shrine where water trickles down through the rocks of Mount Fuji for thousands of years, and then you can drink it. So I was like, I want to drink crazy old mountain water. So like, all right, it's really far away. You can't walk there. Go on the bus. Because like, you got, I don't have a lot of bus experience. So we get on the bus, and I'm like, all right, it's just stopping at every stop. I'm like, all right.
And it's the pamphlets and books that we handed out. We just hold on to them when you get to the end of it, and then after the panel comes, you come back and just bring it up for us, just so you guys know.
Yeah,
I see him still going. He will know. Sorry.
So like we get on the bus and like we're trying to figure out the map, and I think we go past our station. So I was like, oh crap. All right, we'll get off the next one. It goes past that one.
It turns out that you're supposed to pull the rope when you want to stop.
I didn't know that.
We didn't know that.
So I was like, all right, now we're really far away from where we have to be. And the only way I have to get home was the direction from the station we started at. So I was like, all right, looking from the bus map, we'll figure it out, we'll go back, we'll loop around. It looks like it loops around. It's gonna loop around. It doesn't loop around. So we get off, and we know nothing is English. Nothing is, you know, I'm like, crap. No one knows to speak English. And I'm like, I'm trying to like, you know, trying to say like, where was Fuji Station? And like Mount Fuji Station, you know, all I was kind of like trying, all they understood is probably like, Mount Fuji like it's weird. So like, they had no clue what I was saying. And the bus driver was just like, get out, go, pay me, get out. Like, he's just like, tap, tap, tap. I was like, no, I need to go back that way. Like, he's like, tap, tap, tap. And then he, you know, tapped my card, spent a ton of money. I was like, crap. Okay. How hard is it to get back to Tokyo? So we get on this, another train, and I have no clue where I'm going. Like, we're just going. It's getting dark outside. We start seeing, like, school kids get on the bus and get off the bus. Like, we're not in Tokyo anymore. Like, I don't know. I'm like trying to say like, how do you get back to like Shinjuku Station? Because that's like everyone knows. I'm assuming everyone in Japan knows where Shinjuku Station is, or how to at least start going that way. And there's like they didn't know what I was saying or what I was asking for. So I was like, all right, you know, what am I gonna do? So I kept asking people, and some couple was just like told me to get on this one. So I was like, okay. And I was like, all right, trying to figure out. 5 minutes later, they hand me a detailed instructions on how to get back.
Huh.
And they're just like, I was just like, Domo, and they're just like, they're like embarrassed for me like thank them. And I was like, holy crap, you saved my, So, like $20 later, I finally made it back to like, but it was like almost like 12 o'clock. It was brutal. And I was just like, but that was the only time we got really lost.
You never did drink that water, did you?
I drank other sacred water.
Were your details in English or Japanese?
They wrote it all in hiragana. So it was all stuff I could look and match it to. So it was like, it wasn't like katakana or anything. So I could look, see, and it was just like this train to this train to this train to this train. And as soon as I got back to the Yamanote line, I knew exactly where it was. It was cool because like maybe like halfway through the month, I was like, I know how to get around Tokyo. I don't need no map. And it was cool. I was like, go up on this train, and like I knew when like trains were coming, and I can just like, all right, we take this train and we hop out this one and hop onto the next one. That's the express line to where we want to go. It's just like, it was really cool how like you really adjust and adapt to where you're living.
We had a smartphone.
Yeah.
Long time with the train.
Trains are really quick. Like I was just able to hop on a train, and it was all. You look at what time you're arriving, it was exact. Like it was no joke. They have like all the inductors like have special watches like perfectly like programmed to the time, and they're not late at all. Like I was reading about it. Like the only time they're late is like if something breaks down or like an accident happens, But never was I really late. Everything was on time. All the trains online were right. Like I never got lost. But yeah, we went to another place which I recommend called Nikko, and it's like 2 hours train ride north of Tokyo, which is kind of easy to get to. One hard part was train split at one point, so you just gotta make sure you're on the right train. And I was freaking out at that point. I was like, do we gotta get off? And like I was trying to ask, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna stay. And we figured it out. But there's Nikko is like really famous for shrines. There's like so many different shrines there. It's ridiculous. Like you walk down a street shrine, and they're really big and beautiful. And they have like big bridges and stuff. Right. We got like 15 minutes, guys. So, oh yeah. That's like the sky tree and stuff. It wasn't open when we got there, but we got to see some stuff. Yeah, I'll take the last 15 minutes, guys. I'll take questions, and I'll just kind of scroll through. You can look through the pictures. Question?
You mind if I give some tips?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So, a couple of things that you should know. So, when you go to Japan, I know you want to know Japanese, you just speak English, but it's common courtesy in Japan to learn some Japanese, like kind of like money. Make sure you know some basic terms, because then it'll just be easier to get. That when someone gives you a business card, make sure you use 2 hands. Don't take it with 1 hand because it's considered offensive. When you eat, make sure your chopsticks are not sticking up like that because it's an offering for the dead and it's considered disrespectful to do that. So when you finish eating, make sure you set your chopsticks on the side. You don't have to do your mouth thing because that's just traditional, but if you want to, go ahead. Slurring is normal in Japan. It's like over here, it's like oh my god, I appreciate it.
Slurring.
But yeah, that's all you want. And it means that it's delicious. So,
that's a condom machine.
And,
that's a condom machine.
Right next to the flavored drinks.
You get thirsty.
Yeah.
When you go to the convenience store, I know there's like onigiri and ramen noodles, sometimes they have specials and everything. But if you're gonna live for a month, you might want to consider buying the ingredients in Japan because that's kind of an experience for yourself, and also to be able to learn like some cooking skills and being able to be like culturally take some of that.
It is.
I don't want to cook.
The Kevin will just like.
And also, when you go to the grocery store, like, oh, this is kind of expensive, but in the long run, you'll be able to like maybe have like 3 days worth of food rather than just going to the grocery store. Oh yeah, sorry, last thing. When you go to a restaurant, you don't have to tip. The person will force you.
Yeah, don't tip, guys. In Japan, it's actually rude. So if you after you eat, you don't have to tip. Don't tip.
And if you're getting a meal, one person orders all the food for everybody. And like we learned that like because he would
So
order,
that's why people are really confused.
and then like I would order and they'd be like, what are you doing? Like I thought that was all for all of you, and I'm like, no, I want food too.
Do you have like a general sort of resource, like a rundown guide, kind of like a summation of what you talked about here? Like
Yeah, I'm gonna, guys, my email if you want to write it down or get your phone. I can kind of organize it better.
So I'm not gonna remember half this.
No, I can literally talk for the next probably like 3 hours of what I did, how I prepared, and stuff I used. So if you're really serious about going, I mean, budget your money. It might take you 2 years to save up that much money. I mean, I went with 5,000, and I came home with I think 1,200. So like, it all depends on what your living standard is. If you're like, no, I need the best of everything, and I want fanciest meals, like you need to save up more money. But I'm like, I can eat ramen, and I can, make my own food. I can, and I didn't need to go to, crazy restaurants or, buy everything I saw. So like, that's where I budget my money. I was just happy to be there and like just explore.
And that's why she came nothing back, pretty much.
I bought everything.
Close to
So you do have like a resource. You have like a.
You're gonna tell them your email?
Just a quick question.
Yeah.
There are multiple different ways to get to Japan, including like paying your way or student exchange programs.
Mm-hmm.
Have you thought about? There's also I saw a video recently on teaching English in Japan, which seem to be some programs and some organizations.
That's like if you do want to like live in Japan, if you have a bachelor's degree, you could probably teach English in Japan. Like, and you could do it for you'll live like bare bones. You won't have anything fancy, but you'll live in Japan. You can probably do it for several years.
I believe it's required to have a bachelor's.
Yeah, you need a bachelor's degree, otherwise.
That's the only requirement if you go through JET?
Yeah. So like, if you guys have like a bachelor's degree and really want to try something crazy,
Is there any formal training that you need or certificate?
I'm not sure, I just know you need a bachelor's degree in
Yeah.
anything.
I believe you just.
they'll pretty much take anyone.
Yeah, I believe you
They'll
don't
give
need
you like a
formal
whole
training.
program and stuff to teach. Like, so if you have a bachelor's degree and you know English, you can definitely go there.
That's what motivated me through college.
I've thought about it's like you could rent your house in the States and then do a program like that.
So
and
yeah,
then
if you guys have an apartment or house, think about doing like exchange thing. Like a Japanese person will come here and live there, and he'll live at their apartment. That's the thing.
Or if you as a second income, like you said, you own a house, rent the house here and then live and teach in Japan.
Out of the year. Yeah, no, it's all possible. I mean. You just gotta want to do it. That's the only thing that motivated me. I was like, I don't care. Like I told her, I was like, I'm going no matter what. And if you save up money, awesome. But I'm, because like otherwise you'll never do it. You can have 3 friends on one evening, and you guys can get a little tipsy, and you'd be like, let's go to Japan, we'll do it. Yeah, I'll start saving money. And then 2 months later, it'd be like, how much money did you save?
Looking at you guys.
I didn't save anything.
I want to clarify here. I got the $5,000 by the date they left. But I was just getting into University of Connecticut, and I figured the money I could use will go towards food.
Yeah, you gotta pick your battles.
Things.
But
I wish I went, of course.
What I pretty much do is I take that money, I put it in my savings, and I did not touch it. I didn't take it out for anything. If I needed to pay a car payment, I was paid. I was like, I can't. I have to put money. I'm not touching it.
So that's the hardest part about the saving thing is you
and it wasn't that hard.
Yeah, you can tell you all this stuff, but if you guys don't do that first step, you'll never get to. And it just means you gotta make sacrifices. It doesn't mean you have to give up something totally. It just means you give up something a little for now. To get something better later with Japan.
You like go to the bar and you're like, ooh, I can only get 1 drink, and everyone's like busting your balls about it, and I'm like, I'll see you in Japan. And I went to, so I did it, so I really, like, looking at it money-wise, anyone can do it. If you give yourself a time limit and you stick to it.
Part-timers, full-timers, you can do it.
I think the other hardest part is getting a month off if you wanted to go for a month. But even if you could only go for like a week or a week and a half, check out Sakura House. They have apartments. They actually have a hotel too, which is like cheaper, but it was so cheap. It was.
I was surprised at $1,000 for a month. That's nuts.
I mean, you live in a box, but you got a shower, you got somewhere to sleep, and you're in a safe place.
You want to give them your email after this?
Yes.
Is there a washer and dryer on site?
They have like, yeah, so like downstairs they have a washer and dryer. So I was able to wash clothes, my sheets, and everything, so it was no problem.
You had spots for multiple people. It wasn't just like one dude for one.
It was like an apartment building, and some people actually live there. And then like, I'm assuming Sakura House owns a certain number of apartments, and then
So
they
some of
just
them were
rent
like
those out.
2-bedroom and things like that. Or
Yeah, you can get more money, obviously, but you can get like your own duplex with like 2 or 3 bedrooms, your own washing machine. It all depends on where you want to be and what standard of living you need.
So if you guys want anything to write his email down, he's going to give it to you now. We'll wait outside a little bit if you guys want to chat with Devin or Jenny here. We'll wait right outside the door here, right by the window if you want to talk to him a little bit more about it. And so whenever you're ready to give him the email, you guys give me a second to write it down.
Alright guys, so it's devinrmiles@gmail.com. So DEVINRMILES. Right? At Gmail. Yeah, so feel free to like email me. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. I can give you a lot more information, a lot more stuff I looked at, more websites. I'm not going to sit here and spell out each website to you, and you're probably going to write it down wrong even if I do.
Probably
so
spelled it wrong.
I can give you that. I can send you some more pictures. I can tell you like where not to go. There are some places you don't want to go in Japan, like Red Light District.
Question. You might want to go.
Why not?
Yeah.
You might.
Be the first place.
You might.
Kind of machines right there if you need it.
Go to some host clubs.
I feel like you could do the host club.
That's right.
I didn't want to get into that. Anyone else have any questions? I'm going to pretty much go until they kick me out. Yeah.
It was kind of more of a comment though, but one of the more interesting things to check out there are the bars.
Yes. Yes.
Like the person we went with, our teacher, was like this crazy social butterfly. Like I don't think he actually spoke Japanese, but he moved his hands and said stuff, and people reacted, so it all worked.
Yeah.
Like there was one point he'd take students out on the night to go to some weird place or whatever they knew about, and at one point we went with him, and he said, "Okay, we're gonna go to my favorite robot-themed bar," implying that there were more of these.
There are 10
When it turns out that was closed because it was a holiday over there. It's like, oh dang, let's go to my favorite space-themed bar, and we ended up there.
There are a ton of different. There's a place called Golden Guy, which is just like little shops with like very specific bars. So like, there's only like 4 or 5 seats, but if you want to go to a bar that is into like WWC wrestling, they have it. Or a place that only like watches anime, or a video game bar. They're like little seats, and you just like get drinks, and it's called Golden Guy. We didn't actually go during the nighttime. We went during the day to check it out, but definitely worth it. But again, the biggest thing, one thing that stopped me to do that at night was I didn't know how to talk to anyone. I didn't know how to order a drink. So I want to go back before I'm 30, and my goal is to learn a lot more Japanese. So if you're going to do it, at least know enough Japanese to be able to order your food. And be like, I want to drink.
Especially if you have allergies of any kind. Luckily these two don't, so they can just go, that one. But yeah, if you have any of that, you'll need to know what's in it.
If you want to start there. Start learning Japanese. Everyone got my email?
Are there any upper or lowercase letters in it?
Nope. Yeah, just all one.
It
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter with email.
Doesn't matter.
Email doesn't matter.
Would it be easier
All
for you to
email.
travel places and send them all at once as opposed to having 30 people emailing you at once?
I mean, I'm sure not everyone's going to email me. Or maybe. Yeah, I'll probably.
You're the
email me.
Like I said, we're going to head out pretty soon, but we will wait right by the door.
Yeah, you guys want to talk?